This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, all. Good morning. Welcome back. Can you see my screen, everyone? Online.
Yes, Ram. Yes, Ram, we can able to discuss.
Yeah. Fine. So let us start cloud today. AWS cloud. So introduction to cloud. Yeah. First, we'll discuss about how to create AWS account. After that, we'll walk through console. So what are the components are available in the cloud? How to log into the cloud console and how to use the services. What are the services? What is the documentation? What is the cloud support? Okay. So all these things will be covered today. So this is very, very important, right? How to create AWS account and all, right? So let us go through AWS session one. Okay, just I'm giving like this. Yeah, first one is create AWS free tier account. Right? So how to create this account? Let us try to understand. So go to browser, go to browser here and just type aws.amazon.com. Right? So this is the URL to create AWS account. So enter this. Yeah, now it is asking sign into the console. Yeah, someone talking something. Fine. So I just click on this. I'll show you. Wait for a second, few seconds. Yeah. So when I click on this, first time when we use this aws.amazon.com, it will show you like this. Okay. So here it is showing create a new AWS account. Right. So click on this. When you click on create a account, it is showing some email address, password, confirm password, AWS account name, right? So we have to sign up this account here. We have to provide AWS email address, okay, and password, confirm password, and account name, which name you want to assign to the account. We have to provide. So after that, so click on continue. Once you click on this continue, so it will ask you your address, your phone number, your uh, details it will ask you, right? So after that, you will go next, 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 next. End of the page, it will ask you credit card or debit card details, right? So we have to give the details. Yeah, without credit card, it will not be success. Account will not be success. We have to provide, right? So once you provide the credit card details, after that, so from your account, 2 rupees will be deducted, just 2 rupees. Okay. So after 1 week, the 2 rupees will be revert to your account, right? So without credit card, account will not be credited. Either credit card or debit card, any card. Okay, so it will support ICICI Bank, HDFC, and Citibank, Access Bank, these banks. Sometimes SBI also it will support. Sometimes it is giving error. Okay, so you can try whatever card you have, debit card or credit card, but make sure you have to give the details. So once you give the details, unknowingly they will not charge anything from your account. Okay, so they will not cut any amount from your account. right? Fine. So once you create the account, once you submit the account, so this is 1 year free account. Basically, this is 1 year free tier account. So whatever limitations they provide, in that limitations only we have to use the services. If you utilize beyond the limits, what will happen? Some charges will be applied. Okay, they will send some bill. In that billing tab, you can observe that bill. But they will generate bill, but they will not cut your, they will not cut from your account. They will inform you. So this is the bill generated. Please make sure pay the bills. Okay, you just reply to that email. So I'm using just test lab, test servers. Unknowingly, it is generated. So could you please revert so that they will revert the bill. They will zero that, right? And also, if you are not responding to that emails, what will happen? So whenever they inform to pay the bills, if you are not responding, what will happen? They will not deduct anything. They will suspend your account. Simply, they will hold your account. That's it. Nothing will be happened. Account means AWS account, not your credit card account. Okay. They will stop your account. Account will be suspended. You cannot use that account. After that, what we can do? We can create one more account using different email address. Right? Nothing will be happened if you provide account details, credit card details. You can provide the credit card or debit card details. Okay, fine.
So already have account.
Hmm. When you created that account previously, you can create fresh account. Yeah, fresh account you can create using. No, different Gmail ID. Gmail, you can create different Gmail address, and you can create account. Phone number not an issue, but email ID should be changed. Okay, same credit card you can use, same credit card or debit card you can use, same address you can use. Nothing will be happened. Only email address need to be changed. Okay, yeah. Once we create the account, after that, just type again aws.amazon.com. Okay, you can try this account. To create account, you can try. If you are facing any issues, definitely I'll help you out on this. Okay, you just try to create this account. It's very simple. It's like a Gmail account. Okay, just provide the details. End of the page, provide your credit card details. That's it. Credit card or debit card. So it will be created. It will be activated within 30 minutes. So after that, once it is activated, go to aws.amazon.com. After that, click on My Account, click on AWS Management Console. So when you click on this, yeah, it will ask you username, root user, IAM user. Okay, so we always use root user in test lab. In real time, we don't use root user. We always use IAM user. IAM means identity and access management, right? So we use this account in real time. So in test lab, we select root user, give your email address which you created in the account, and click on next. After that, so these are the characters you have to enter here for security. Okay. After that, you have to provide the password. Once you give the password, the account will be login like this. You are able to log in your account. So this is my AWS management console, right? Fine. So once you log in into this console, so these are the services available. Different services, compute services, developer tools, machine learning, right? So AWS cost management services, containers, storage, databases, right? Networking, different services are available here. So we'll walk through this. Before that, here we have different tabs. First, we'll try to understand this. Okay. First tab here is it is a shell. Shell means command line. AWS command line. Okay. How to enable this? I'll show you later. Okay. Next one is bell icon. Bell icon is it is for For example, if you get any bill, if you get any issues, the issues will be available here. It will show you, it will notify one issue is there, one error is there, like. So you just click on this, you will get all the information about issues or alerts. Okay. So after that, this is my login ID. So click on this. Here, this is my account number, right? And my organization. So if you click on this is personal account, right? There is no organization here. Personal account. It will not show anything. And next one is my service quotas. What is quota? Limitations. Whatever quotas you have, limitations, right? And next one is my billing dashboard. So if you click on this is my bill. Okay. Services wise, this is the bill generated here. And if you want to check previous bills, click on bills, August month bill, check here, there is no bill, 0. Okay. September month, I have 57 rupees, 57.89 INR, right? So services wise, it will show you backup, CloudWatch, data transfer. These are the services I utilized in the console. For this, bill is generated like this. Okay. Yeah. Next one is my security credentials. If you want to change your login ID, not login ID, password. If you want to change your password, you can go through my security credentials. Here you can change your password, right? So after that, here it is showing global. Normally it will show you region. Okay. So for example, go to services, click on compute EC2. It will show you some region. See here, it is showing some region. Ohio, US East 2 means these are all regions, different regions. Region means data center, right? US East 1, North Virginia, US East, Ohio, US West, North California, US West, Oregon. These four are America's regions, America's data centers. US regions, right? So this is Africa region. These are the Asia Pacific. Okay, so here we have Mumbai also. This is Mumbai region and Singapore region, right? Sydney, Tokyo. These are the Asia Pacific APAC regions. Okay, so region means it is a data center. Canada region, Europe region is also available here. Europe, Frankfurt, right? So Ireland, London, right? Milan, Paris. These are the Europe regions, Europe data centers. So this is the Middle East, Bahrain, right? South America also one of the region is there. So year on year they are increasing the regions. Why we require regions? To access our resources. So for example, our team is available in US. Our team, like development team or testing team or DevOps team. So we can create infrastructure in US region. So our team is available in Mumbai region. We can create resources in Mumbai region, right? Like this. These are the data centers. Once again, I'll explain. Okay. Next, we'll go to support. Next tab is support. This is very important here. Support means, so in this different types of supports we'll get. Okay. Support center. First tab is support center. For example, when we are working on the services in real console, if you face any issues, for example, VPC or EC2, some services are there. If you are facing any issues, we have to raise a case with vendor. Case means request, ticket, right? So for example, when you face any issue with our internet, for example, broadband or any other internet, normally we'll call them. So internet speed is very slow. It is giving errors. It is not getting connected, right? So when we call customer care, they will raise one ticket. request. So ticket means what is the ticket? What is the request?
Complaint.
Complaint, right? So every ticket, every request will have some SLA. What is SLA? Anyone having idea? What is SLA?
Service level agreement.
Yeah, service level agreement.
Yeah, it's a service level agreement, right? So some time limitation. So this SLA will have like tickets are three or four types of tickets are. Can you mute everyone? So tickets are three or four types are there. Priority one tickets, P1 tickets, P2 tickets, P3 tickets, P4 tickets. Priority one means within 1 hour it should be resolved. That is critical ticket, right? In real time, if any production server is down completely, so if the business is impacting, so we will raise P1 ticket. Within 1 hour, it should be resolved, right? So P2 means it will have 4 to 6 hours SLA, right? P3 means it will have 24 hours. P4 means 48 hours. Based on the project standards, they will design the SLA, right? So based on this SLA, the request should be resolved, right? So whenever we face any issues in the real-time consoles, we raise the ticket from here, support center. In our test lab also, if you face any issues, you can click on this. See here, create case. Click on this. Yeah. So what is the type of issue you are facing? Account and billing support. Okay, if you are getting any more bill without utilizing any services, you can select this and you can give the type of issue. You can select whatever you want to. Billing issue, click on billing. Category, severity, right? Severity means I told you ticket types, P1, P2, P3 line, right? And subject line, what is the issue you have to write here, and description also we have to write here. And once we write all these things, we have to submit. We can attach screenshots also, right? So if the issue is service limit increase issue, okay, you can select this. The issue is technical support issue, technical issue. You have to select this one, and we have to give all the details here, and we have to submit the request. Once you submit the request, you will get one email immediately. We have received this request. We have started working on this request. Okay. So AWS team will start working on the request. Once they resolve the issue, they will call back. They will call back to you. So this is the issue we resolved. Can you please check and confirm? AWS service is very good. Okay. So once they resolve the issue, so they will ask you to check. You have to confirm. Then only they close the request. Otherwise, they don't close. Okay, so that level of support AWS will provide. So not only AWS, Azure also same, Microsoft Azure also same, and Google Cloud also same. Okay, so AWS is having very good service, very good team. Okay, fine. Next one, expert help. What is expert help? Expert help means, so some premium customers will be there. Every organization will have some, every vendor will have some premium customers. So premium customers means priority customers, right? So they will be charged more, some extra. Priority customers means, so prioritize, they will provide you support. So whenever they have any issue, they can directly call them AWS team. They will be allowed to call for priority customers only. Okay, yeah, this is expert help. So in this prioritize, they will resolve the issue. Next one is forums. Forums means, so in AWS we have some forums. If any new service launches, if any issues are happening, so in the forums some discussions will be happened. We can register and we can involve into that. So we'll get some knowledge in that. We'll get some information. For example, one new service launches. So about that, some information will be available in the forums. Okay. So in forums, some discussions will be happened, So when we follow the forums, we'll get some knowledge and also some information we'll get, right? Next one is documentation. This is very, very important. So click on the documentation. So AWS is providing official documentation here. Okay, see here, guides and API references. These are the documents, different documents. Services wise, they are providing official document. It's a detailed document. For example, I required EC2 document. Click on this EC2. See here, it is asking format, which format you require. HTML, PDF, Kindle. So I required PDF. Click on PDF. Now it will show you PDF format. So this is official documentation. Yeah, see here. So this is the document. What is Amazon EC2? Features of Amazon EC2? How to get started with Amazon EC2? Right? Even though how to create account also, some steps are there here. Right? So this is detailed document. So if you want to download this, you can click on this icon. It will be downloaded. So this is very good documentation. Okay, so you can follow this. If you want to follow, you can follow. So sometimes we also follow in real time. Okay, yeah, this is the documentation. Next one is training. So training means here sometimes AWS will provide you free trainings. Okay, so when you click on this training, go down here, see here, digital training, classroom training, events. Okay, so sometimes they provide in festival time, New Year time, they provide free trainings. So whenever you see any free trainings, free, just they will show you like free. Yeah, see here, it is not free. Migrating to AWS, enroll now. They are asking enroll now, but there is no free here. So they will show you here free training. So whenever you get these free trainings, you can click on that and you can enroll. So they will provide you very good training. Any new services launches, any yeah, they want to give any trainings, they put free training. Okay, so this is a WebEx meeting they provide. You can enroll and you can attend that. They provide you very good training. Okay, so once in a year, twice in a year, they provide some trainings. Okay, some few services only, not entire AWS. One or two services they provide training. Okay, so these are the trainings. Next one is getting started resource center. What is this? So apart from this AWS, they provide other information also. See here, launch your first application, full stack developer, front end developer, right? So different things, DevOps engineer. So some information, not complete course, but they will provide some information. Okay, apart from AWS, see here, database administrator, databases, serverless, containers, storage, compute, machine learning, like this. Okay, if you want to go through this, you can go through without any charges, free of cost. Okay, so these are the things available instead of the support. Okay, fine. Next one is, let us go to services one by one. Click on services. So these are the services available. Compute services, EC2, right? So these are the compute services available. So if you want to create any instance means server. In AWS, we'll call it as instance. Okay, that is server. If you want to create any server, you can click on EC2 and you can create the server. So why we require server? To deploy applications, right? So project teams, they will request us to create some infrastructure. Infrastructure means servers, storage, network. These are the things, right? So whenever project team required any servers, they will raise one request. So we will receive the request, right? So based on the request, how much storage they required, how much RAM required, what is the process required, processing, right? So based on the request, based on the requirement, we can create the infrastructure using these compute resources. Okay. So EC2 will start tomorrow. Okay. So we'll walk through the services. I'll give you overview. Okay. Yeah. EC2, yeah, light sail, lambda function, batch. These are the compute services, right? So using these compute services, we can create servers. Fine. Next one is developer tools. So these are the developer tools. Different tools are available. So we don't require these tools. Developers require this. Okay. These are the machine learning services. Machine learning. Okay. Different services available. And next one is AWS cost management. So AWS budgets, cost explorer, AWS marketplace, subscriptions. These are the things are available. So AWS budgets means normally senior architects they will plan for the budget. For example, client allocating some budget for the year. Okay, architects, managers, senior DevOps engineers they will maintain this budget. For example, so for 2022, client gave $10,000 budget. That project budget. Okay, so within that limitations we have to use the budget. Okay, for example, limitation means whatever infrastructure we required within that budget only we utilize. Whatever resources, whatever the engineers resource cost, all these things will be covered in the budget. So that budget will be maintained by architects. So budgeting section, one session will be there. So I'll show you while working on that. Okay. So how to create budget, how to create threshold. Threshold means what is the threshold? For example, client gave you $10,000 for the year. Okay. So for that we have to create some threshold. Threshold means basically once it is reaches to 50% of the budget, we create one threshold. Means once we create some threshold, it will notify through emails. Your budget is reached to 50%. Threshold means limitation, cutoff, right? So once it is reaches to 50%, it will send notification. Will get notified through emails, right? So once it is reaches to 80% or 90%, we can create one more threshold. We'll get notified through emails. Based on that, we can control the budget, right? So in real time, normally what will happen? DevOps engineers and build and release engineers, they create some servers for practice test servers. So once they create the servers, they don't stop the servers, they don't terminate the servers, they leave as is. So that what will happen? Unnecessary bill will be generated, right? So that unnecessary bills we have to control as a senior architect, as a manager. So they will monitor the budgeting always, right? So we have one budget session and that we'll discuss that. Next important thing is storage containers. So we'll cover some services here. So after that storage. So what is storage? Why we require storage? So storage ఎందుకండి? Why we use? Why we require storage? To store our data, whatever project data is available. To store the data, we use storage, right? So here we have different types of storages. S3 means it's a simple storage service. We can compare with Google Drive. This is like Google Drive. So we can upload files, we can download files, we can modify anything, whatever you want. So this is one of the service. It will take 1 hour. So we'll discuss. Okay. And next one is EFS, Elastic File System. This is one type of storage, file sharing. Okay. And FSX, this is one type of storage. S3 Glacier. This is a cheaper storage compared with all other storages. Glacier normally we use for backups and archival. Next one is storage gateways. Gateways means security, right? And next one is AWS backup. Backup also one service. So it will take 1 hour. Okay, we'll work on this backup service. It will take 1 hour, right? So these are the storage services. Along with this, we have one more service which is EBS volumes, elastic block storage volumes. Okay, so those volumes will be attached to our servers. Volume means storage partition, like C drive, D drive, we use in laptop, right? The same way we create one volume and attach to servers. How to attach, how to configure, we'll see that going forward. Okay. Next one, databases. These are the databases available. Different databases, RDS, DynamoDB, Elastic Cache, right? Different databases. Next one is networking concept, networking and content delivery. So VPC. VPC means it's a virtual private cloud. Okay, it is a networking concept. These are the networking concepts. Okay, VPC. VPC means virtual private cloud. So virtually we can create the network in AWS. Okay, so what is networking? To communicate from one device to other device, we create networking, right? So in AWS data center, we create one VPC. It is a virtual network. Virtually, we divide. For example, I give you a small example here. So, for example, this is AWS data center. This is AWS data center. So, in AWS data center, we create one VPC. Okay. So, where we create a VPC, I'll show you quickly. So, in data center, we will have regions and zones. Okay. Regions we already discussed. So these are the regions, right? These are the different regions. Americas regions, Europe regions, Asia Pacific regions. Regions are data centers. Under these regions, we will have availability zones. Okay. For example, this is AWS data center. Okay. So this is the Mumbai data center. For example, Mumbai data center, Mumbai region. This is Mumbai region. So instead of the Mumbai region, we will have availability zones. So these are the different regions, right? Every region will have availability zones. So what is availability zone? What is the importance of that? I'll show you quickly. So this is Mumbai region. Instead of that, we have different availability zones, which are like, so this is availability zone 1, this is availability zone 2, this is availability zone 3. Okay. Availability zone 2A and 2B and 2C. So what is availability zone? What is the use of availability zone? Quickly, I give you overview. Okay, so when we discuss about VPC, we'll go deep dive. So I'm just giving overview. Okay, so this is availability. These are the availability zones. So for example, this is Hyderabad availability zone. This is Hyderabad availability zone. This is Bangalore availability zone. This is Chennai availability zone. So these are the availability zones, also data centers. Region is data center. Under this region, we have availability zone. Availability zone also data center. So why we require this availability zone? So we have already region, right? Why again we require availability zone? different data centers. Why we required? Because so in 2016 or early 2017, some floods happened in Chennai. Hope everyone remember that, right? Major floods happened. So by the time, most of the IT area affected, most of the IT companies shut down by the time due to floods, right? So by the time there was no power, there was no diesel to run the data centers. So by the time one availability zone was there in Chennai, AWS availability zone. Can you mute everyone? Can you mute yourself, everyone? So in that case, when floods happened in Chennai, one AWS availability zone was down, right? So by the time whoever working from Chennai office, our employees, they switched to Hyderabad. They started working from Hyderabad. Okay. So Chennai availability zone is down here. By the time this is down. So whatever applications are running on this data center, whatever production applications, whatever servers, whatever storage is running on this data center, everything will be shut down. What will happen if the applications are shut down, the servers are shut down, production will be down, business will be impacted, right? So that is why here what will happen? Every availability zone will connect to other availability zone like this. So data, whatever data is available on the one data center, that will replicate to other availability zone every 2 minutes. For example, in Hyderabad, we have some servers, some applications. This data will be replicated to Bangalore. Bangalore data will be replicated to Chennai. Chennai data will be replicated to Hyderabad. Like this, data will be replicated. In case Chennai is down, this is down, our applications will not be down. Those will be accessed from Hyderabad. Whoever working on this data center, whoever development teams or testing teams, they are working on the servers. They automatically switch to Hyderabad. Applications will not be down. So your production will not be down, right? This level of high availability providing by AWS. Even though entire region is down, for example, entire region is down, still our data will be backed up. So our applications will be accessed from nearby region, which is Singapore. For example, Mumbai region is down. Mumbai region is down means availability zones also down. Complete zones will be down. So by the time our data will be accessed from nearby other data center, which is Singapore, APAC region, nearby Singapore. From there, our data, our applications will be accessible. So in last year, one data center was down in US, North Virginia was down. So by the time, whatever data, whatever applications are there in the North Virginia, those applications accessed from California due to some issue, complete region was down. So by the time, so everyone, business not impacted. Okay. So we have some servers in North Virginia. Those servers access from California.
Data is in sync, Ram.
Yeah, data will be
Different
synchronized.
regions.
Every
Okay.
region to region also backup will be there. Region to region also backup will be maintained by AWS,
Okay.
right? So this availability zones, if any availability zone is down, so automatically it will other availability zone will take care. No need to enable anything. This configurations will be taken care by AWS only. We don't need to touch anything. As a DevOps engineer, we don't touch anything. So we can we can maintain the infrastructure, that's it. But this configurations will be maintained by AWS only. This availability zone is down, automatically other availability zone will be available. But the region is down completely, AWS manually enable. It will take 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes it will take to enable other region. Okay. So 10 to 15 minutes will be down. Production will be down. but availability zone is down, nothing will be happen. Immediately, other availability zone will take care of the resources. Okay, so this will be maintained by, everything will be maintained by AWS only. So instead of the availability zone, we create VPC that will be maintained by DevOps engineers. Here we create VPC, virtual private cloud, virtual network. We can say virtual network. Instead of the data center, we create some virtual network, right? That will be maintained by DevOps engineers. In this VPC, we'll create some subnets. So this is, for example, this is VPC. Instead of this VPC, we'll create subnets. What is subnet? Subnet means,
Group.
yeah, it is a group. We can say this is a sub network, logically divided some servers. Subnets are two types, okay? Public subnet, private subnet. So this is, for example, this is public subnet. So this is private subnet. So what is public subnet? What is private subnet? Public subnet means it is a internet facing public servers like Google server, right? And Amazon server. These are public servers. So what is private subnet? Public servers will be accessed through internet. Private subnet means in this subnet we create private servers within the organization. So these servers can be accessed through intranet. Intranet. Internet means public servers will be accessible through internet. So private servers will be accessed through intranet within the organization, right? So for example, we have some servers in real-time project. So if you want to access that, how can we access from your laptop? You got laptop, right? How we will access that servers? First, we will connect VPN. If you want to log in your system, if you want to log into your office network, first we have to connect VPN, virtual private network, right? So VPN login is very simple. Some code will be generated that we have to enter. You can log in. Once we log in that, we'll connect our office network. From office network, we can connect our private servers, right? So every VPC will have two subnets, which are public subnet, private subnet. So instead of the subnets, we'll create servers, private servers or public servers, whatever. Like this, we create servers. So in these servers, we deploy some applications and we hand over to project teams. When we receive any request, we create servers like this and we can hand over to project team. So VPCs, we don't create again and again, only one time activity. VPC means virtual network. Only one time we'll create. Subnets also one time, but servers will create most of the time as per the project requirements. Okay, so very simple. By single click we can create. Don't think like complicated. So very simple way we can create the infrastructure in cloud. Okay, it's very easier. Don't think like it is very difficult to create. Yeah, go ahead. Someone unmuted. Fine. Any questions in this VPC networking? Yeah. So when we talk about VPC and
Huh?
networking, we'll go to drive again. Yeah, go ahead.
You were talking about the data centers like Ohio and all. Will that be selected manually or it will be defaultly allocated or selected according to your location?
Yeah, fine. So this will be created by maintained by AWS, and also when we want to create any servers, we have to select the data centers where you want to create servers. Okay, that will be decided by client itself. We don't decide. That is client deciding factor. Client will give you requirement. Based on the requirement where we have to create the servers, so we can create that. Okay, for example, our project team is available in Mumbai or Hyderabad, so we'll select Hyderabad availability zone, Mumbai availability. Mumbai also one availability zone is there, region is there, availability zone also there. Okay, based on the requirement we can create the servers. Americas region also. So wherever nearby availability zone, in that we can create the servers, right?
Okay.
So that will be decided by client only. We don't decide client requirement. Fine. So this is the way normally we can work on the VPCs networking part. So we'll go deep dive. So this availability zones, when they want to configure, like when they want to have availability zone, they will check 100 years of historical data. So for example, AWS want to establish one availability zone, one data center. They will check 100 years of historical data, because any floods are happening, any earthquakes are happening, any terror attacks are happening. They will check all these things. So last to last year, they plan to have in Vizag one availability zone, Vishakhapatnam, right? So after Hudud, they cancelled that, because Hudud happened, right? By the time major disaster happened, that is why they cancelled in Vizag and they moved to Kolkata. Now one availability zone is building in Kolkata. So in Hyderabad, we have availability zone at high tech city area. Hyderabad is the best place for availability zones, because here no floods, very less earthquakes, right? Very less terror attacks, right? So all these things. So they will consider all these things. They will check history, previous history. Based on that, they will plan availability zones. Right? Yeah. Next one is we have another services. Let us quickly go through. Management and governance. Okay. Here we have CloudWatch. CloudWatch is the monitoring tool. Also, we have one more tool, which is CloudTrail. These two tools will be covered in our course. Okay. CloudWatch is for infrastructure monitoring, server monitoring. Okay. If any server is down, server is restarted, server is in hung state, server is not able to, server is not connecting. So CloudWatch will monitor and it will send alerts. Okay. And the CloudTrail is for console monitoring, AWS console monitoring. Console monitoring means, for example, we are 7 members, team members. We are working on same project. So you are creating some resources. You are creating some resources. I am creating some resources. Okay. So, for example, if you create some resources, one log will be generated on your name. Okay. So normally, while logging into console, we use IAM. IAM means Identity Access Management User. IAM user, right? So your name will be appear in the log. This person is created the S3 bucket. This person is created this server, like that. So with the timestamp, resource name, everything will be created. That will be monitored by, that will be sent by CloudTrail. This CloudTrail service. For tracking, so normally who is doing what? You need to understand, right? So CloudTrail will monitor and it will provide the logs. So here these two are monitoring tools which we are going to cover, CloudWatch and CloudTrail. And one more important thing here is security, identity and compliance. This is the IAM service. It will take 1 hour. Identity and access management. This is all about user management. How to create user, how to apply permissions to user, how to connect as user, how to deny users. So all these things will be covered. So IAM is a service. When we discuss about IAM, we'll go deep dive. Okay, and next one is SNS. One service is there. SNS means it is a simple notification service. So why we require this SNS service? Okay, so normally when we are using any internet, for example, in our mobiles, we are using Geo network, right? So in Geo, we have data, mobile data. So when we utilize 100 MB or 200 MB, we'll get one notification. You have utilized 200 MB data, right? So that will be sent by SNS, simple notification service. Okay, backend SNS will be configured. Whenever we use that data, it will send some notification, right? And also one more service we have, SQS, simple queue service. So where we use this service, simple queue service. For example, when we book any product online shopping, when we book any product. For example, I book one product in Amazon shopping site. Okay. So when I book the product, so I'll get one notification. Your order has been placed, right? So once the product is packed, right? It is ready to move, it is ready to dispatch. We'll get one more notification. Once it is reaches to your city, we'll get one more notification. Like the product has been, it is ready to deliver, out for deliver, right? And also once we receive the product, we'll get one more notification. Product has been delivered. That will be sent by SQS, simple queue service. For every stage, it will send one notification. So manually, no one will send that. Automatically, SQS will send. So this also we'll discuss. SQS, SNS will be covered in our course. Okay. So these are the services. Yeah, we have 15 to 20 services yearly. 15 services we have. We'll go deep dive. Every service will take 1 hour. Okay, so we'll go deep dive, and tomorrow we'll start EC2. What is EC2? How to create instance? Instance means server. How to create instance? How to connect instance? What are the things available in that? So all these things will be covered tomorrow. Okay, we can create Linux instance. We can create Windows instance. It will take 2 to 3 days. EC2. So detailedly, we'll go one by one, option by option. So creating instance will take only 1 minute. Creating server will take only 1 minute. Not only one server, 100 servers, 1,000 servers also, we can create within 1 minute only. Okay. So by single click, we can create. So how to create that? So we'll see that. Okay. Any questions, anyone? So tomorrow completely link will be changed. One more link will come tomorrow. Okay. So whoever not clear the fee, make it by today itself, today EOD. Otherwise, so will not be allowed. Okay. So because our team will monitor, they will monitor and they will check, they will disconnect. Okay. So the link will be changed. Whoever not clear the fee, make it by today EOD. So from tomorrow, so new link will come, new online link will come, and offline also. Whoever not clear, you can make it by today EOD. Okay. Fine. Any questions, anyone? So tomorrow onwards, don't miss any sessions. Okay. AWS first service is EC2. Tomorrow we'll start. Every service, once we complete that, you have to practice every day. So slowly we'll enter. Okay. So we don't go to advanced topics directly. Very slow we'll move. AWS will cover very slowly. So after that, once we start Linux and DevOps, we'll go little faster. Okay. So if you have any basic questions also, you can ask me anytime. Fine. Yeah. So we stop here for today. You can create your account today, AWS account. If you face any issues, you can post in the group so that I'll help you how to create. Okay. So you take screenshot and post in the group. If anyone already created, they will help you, or else I'll help you. Fine. Yeah. We stop here for today. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ram.
Yeah, thank you.